Bubble Tank versus Dark Lizard versus Gin Juice versus Koala Pro versus Lucas B versus MTB in Crash Bash.
Welcome to my world when it came to embolism.
I will be watching your side, Rodri, when Lucas beats this.
I don't care. I just want to be done. I don't care who watches.
He's
I feel the
losing
pain.
energy. Come on, Toxic Dash, let's go.
Come on, I'm jumping at the balloon, for fuck's sake.
Oh shit.
Thank you.
In this, your eyes are just whizzing all over the place.
There we go.
There we go.
GG.
Hey,
Right.
GG.
Cool.
Place, nice.
Okay.
Right. Let's
You
get
got
to,
the trophy, Rodri? Oh no.
No, I'm still on.
Lucas, you're
Oh.
watching Lucas, right? Sorry.
There we
Yeah,
go.
I'm fourth place. Yeah.
Right, GG.
Oh, one more.
Okay.
You got this. One more.
That was painful.
Hello, YouTube watchers. It is your boy, Bobolink here from the future. And today I am joined by your fourth place champion, Lucas B.
What?
Hello,
I thought I
everybody.
was.
Yep, I am the fourth placer of this race.
Yeah,
Very
Josh.
well done
I
on
don't know why
fourth
that
place, Lucas.
Yeah,
I admire everyone's
I haven't
stamina
watched it too.
because at this point especially, I think we really ran out of things to talk about.
I haven't pressed anything.
Yeah, the ambivalence of the overall game started to really rear its head here.
Yeah. It was like, I remember watching it back on the editing floor and I was like, the first part is banter, laugh a minute sort of thing. Here it's, I'm getting this objective, I'm doing this thing. Or in the case of my own gameplay, it was, come on, why am I struggling on a trophy sort of thing.
Sound on Rodri's side would help. There we go.
I love the silent film music that's been used.
Thank you.
Because, like, yes, at this point we basically went to the point of insanity. Like, I think past me's words at the end of this when I said that was painful, like, it still stands. It was definitely not. Well, I was surprised MTB actually beat me. I guess like I'm just proof that even people like 200% this game can struggle with this game massively. Still,
Wow.
Especially when it's in the context of a race as well.
yeah. And I've did 3 races in this game before this, and it was still a struggle. Really was. You can never be too complacent about who's going to come first in this kind of race, because you never know. You literally never know. I didn't think Koala Pro was going to win it, actually. And my odds were actually all stacked on that lizard.
You even mentioned this in the first part as well, when I was like, oh, it's a Lucas victory, and you're like, no, it's a lizard victory. And I
And
think
then
we were all in
the shot
agreement
in
as
the-
well, except
shot-
for him.
Yeah.
Go on,
Except
sorry.
for him. It turned out like Koala had played the game a bit more recently than he did in terms of like playing it for speedruns and that casually. But because Lizard was playing the character he normally plays as, I thought, yeah, he's not going to let his guard down. But the thing is, like, nobody did, and yet people still. I think Janindrus
Peacefully.
had a big struggle because he played as Cortex, you played as Embryo, and those characters seem to have the hardest time in the game
Right, okay.
comparatively
Yeah.
to everyone else, as we can see.
Well, I think what's interesting about this, and it's something that I go on to point out in the original race, is how really the classes finished together. So, like, you know, Rillaroo and Dingo Dial finished together, and then Crash and Coco finished together. and now Cortex and Brio are the two character classes, or the single character class, but they both share last place.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure how much of this could be down to our individual experiences with the players.
Oh no! What? I killed him.
Wow, I'm having a great time there, aren't I?
Yeah.
It wasn't a tie. I killed
No.
him. I
Because
won.
for me, like, I'm not used to playing as Brio. Like, if it weren't for this race,
No,
I
no,
probably never would have picked him.
So the game's
But then I think we had like that
yeah.
unofficial rule of we were all going to play as one of the characters each to sort of show off all their different gameplay styles. And I
if
think
it
this
had
race
been-
definitely did a good job of doing that.
If it had been the main characters of the speedrun, Kong and Tiny, it would have probably been Kong would have been minus infinity, and Tiny would have been minus 0 or something like that, like in terms of first place, because both of them are way above the rest. What are you up to at the moment, Joseph, in the game?
Well, that's interesting.
Just done the gem.
I remember, having many debates with my brothers when I was younger about it, because I always played as Tiny. But my brother doesn't like Tiny and thinks Crash is the best player. So it's interesting how validated I feel as an adult on the speedrunning scene now that the speedrunning community has agreed with me all along. Like,
Yeah, I played as Crash as a kid. I never actually played as anybody else, and struggled immensely, and I never thought like there was any difference between any of them actually.
yeah,
Because this game doesn't actually have stats like CTR, like they're all hidden. So you kind of have to guess for yourself who's the best at what.
Yeah. And you
thanks
can
to the
only do
internet.
that by trying and failing at the game, right?
Yeah, thanks to the internet now, we know who's the best and who's not.
Yeah.
But even then, like, it's I don't know, it's interesting. It's like a difficult mode for Cortex and Brio, even though, like, technically, the polar bear, they're good at the polar bear, but they're not the best at it.
Well, the issue with the polar bear for them is that they get one big push, but then that's also a flaw they share with Tiny and Kong.
There you go.
I think the difference though is that Tiny and Kong are heavy characters, whereas like Cortex and Brio are quite light in comparison. And I think the physics engine takes things like that into account. And this is stuff that I think the speedrunning scene actually doesn't discuss enough about when it comes to this game, is actually the versatility of the classes and sort of, the different variables they put into the physics.
It's good. It is really good the way that they made the characters different from one another, so that it makes the game less monotonous.
Yeah.
Because one of the main criticisms that get levied at the game was it always repeats itself over and over again.
There you go.
But yet, amazingly, when you play as a different character, it feels like an entirely new game, even if the levels are familiar. And
Oh, absolutely.
yeah, you don't really get that with most of these kinds of games, and especially a game that's kind of based on a Mario Party style, but completely evolves it.
Yeah, and I'm just about to
Story.
go into Oxide Ride.
Yeah.
Just wanted to put that in there. No, I mean, it's interesting when people talk about the game repeating itself, because in many ways, I feel it has the excuse of the fact it is a party game. So,
Yeah.
the whole style of the gameplay is minigame based, right?
Yeah.
I think a lot of people take swipes at the fact that you have to win a game 3 times, but I mean, in my view, the reward of the game should be getting to play the game. So, to me, I never saw it as an issue, but I think it's the relic challenges that I think are really, abhor repeating the challenge over and over again, and that's just because they ramp up the difficulty of the AI.
And also, there's no checkpoints either.
Yes,
Which is
exactly.
their own challenges, and And actually, like the AI is way more aggressive in them as well, like much more
Yeah.
determined to obstruct you.
Like
And-
they do it a bit
yeah.
in each of the challenges, you know, like in gems and crystals, but then when it gets to the relics, they just decide, I'm gonna wake up and choose violence, you know.
And the AI in the platinum relics turns into oxide, and when you fight him the first time, it's actually nigh impossible to beat him on a first attempt.
Yeah.
You have
And it
to
does
die at
make me
least
wonder
once.
if anyone's ever beaten him on the first attempt, or if it is
I don't
literally impossible.
think so. Not in a speed run, from what I understand. Every world record of this game always had to die once to him. I think.
I think I remember the world record, like any percent of this game, like not only failed on Oxide, but failed on a bunch of the challenges multiple times. And part of me sometimes wonder if some of these fails are intentional due to difficulty tuning, or whether some of them are actually because the game's that hard.
It's
Which
true
again
that
speaks
there
to
is
the
difficulty tuning in all of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's very hard to tell. Sometimes it's Oxide was the first time I ever noticed it,
Yeah, absolutely.
because you just randomly end up beating him, and it doesn't feel like you've actually done anything different from before.
Anyway, 29 balloons.
Yeah.
He seems to let more goals in. Like, he's already like starting to get blacks. I mean, he's still like holding his guard, but you can tell he's starting to let them in a little bit more.
Yeah.
Yes.
But at this point, like, and I mentioned this to Koala and Dark Lizard a couple of parts ago, like, I was suffering a lot from fatigue and anguish of, you know, I just really want to finish this goal. So I think part of my own performance as well, and maybe you can touch on this as well, is that I think I was making a lot of mistakes that I wouldn't make had I have, you know, done what I normally do, which is save the game after I defeat a boss and walk away from it for a while before picking it back up for another session, sort of thing.
Yeah, like I'm not good at playing this game from start to finish in one sitting, and actually, like, that was one of the reasons I was reticent about this race, because I wasn't sure if I would even do it, and I think that's kind of one of the reasons Koala did so well, was because he seemed to have a rhythm for this game that I simply didn't have in the story mode. Because most of the time when I'm playing this game, like you say, you do walk away from it after each challenge, like in the Platinum Relics and that, which is what I've mostly had. My experience in the game is the 200% most recently, and also a few little races on Bingo. That was it. But it was a completely different format because it was two people. It was a tag team basically. So I wasn't used to doing it on my own like this. In fact, I actually had a route written up for it as well, which I only tested once.
Yeah.
And then I realised, okay, like I might be able to do this, but I was really surprised that Janinjus managed to actually finish as well, because one of the things was, you know, the game takes so long that it was so late for him at this point when he got to ring ding, as he's playing right now.
No, I really felt for him in this race, actually, because it was like, you know, it had been very nearly 4 hours for him, and I think it was already pretty late for him when it started as well. And then he also has the added pressure of like needing to finish pretty soon so that, like, you know, his wife can use the house again.
Yeah.
So, you know, again, I mean, hats off to Noriko, by the way, if you're watching, for letting Jin Induce do these 4-hour runs and like agreeing to just sort of stay out the way. We really do appreciate that, and you know, yeah.
Is that in
That's
If
actually a
I
good
had the
point,
golf
yeah.
clap sound
I
effect
hit a
on me,
box, and then it just
Yeah.
gave it to the CPU.
there we go. I'll probably send this to Jin Induce when this goes up.
Of course I do. Honestly, the hardest part of this gem challenge is just
There
the
we go.
timer.
So by the time I actually got up to Oxide,
Unlucky.
Marcus had
got the
just
shoot.
finished. So he was on
It
for a
was
while.
stupendously close for you. Oh, and I have just claimed 5th place.
Yes, I just got back.
Yes,
I just
well
got
done.
back to you beating him.
You can hear from my roar there that I was
GG.
greatly relieved.
Very nice.
Thank you, Marcus.
Yep, I tell you, honestly.
happy that we're all finishing there. So.
Yeah, I would be relieved too. This game gives you a mixture of both relief and also some sense of satisfaction when you beat a challenge.
No, I'm happy
know.
we
Uh,
Fun fact for those watching in the VOD, actually, I had to basically rush off and do a race for a different
Put
channel
it on afterwards.
after this was done. Funnily enough, that other race wasn't my best performance
I
because,
just keep my
you know,
stream.
coming from a 4-hour Crash Bash race, you're just a bit done mentally.
Zoned out.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
racing one Muddy Maestro over on ISGP, and I just said to him, "Look, can we just do a simple goal? You know, I don't want to do a complex goal or anything. Just maybe a bingo or something." And yeah, he was very understanding. So thanks to Muddy if you're
Oh
watching.
yeah, drag you off the
do
yeah.
on-
Oh yeah.
Yes, he has kept tabs in this channel. I think because he did comment on
I'll get
um,
the Twisted Metal.
Twisted Metal Race. Yeah,
And he
between you and
subscribed
Skater.
recently as well. So yeah, thank you for the
Nice.
subscription.
Thank you.
Every audience member counts.
But one could say like you were as mentally zoned out as Casey was in the grand final by the end of when the Toy Story 2 race.
Oh yes, very good point.
When he started singing songs randomly.
He still did
yeah.
get the mice on the first try though, so hats off to him for that. Because I watched Kiwi struggle for probably as long as this video is going to end up being. You know,
He only struggled slightly more than I did on it.
yeah. Now would be a good time to bring up the fact that I think you indeed won that tournament. So, you know,
Yeah.
coming off the back of that, you did very well on this. Then, you seem to be like, because you've been doing speed runs on and off for like 3 years at this point. You know, and, like you really are starting to see some results now. So, you know, very well
Yeah.
done to you for that.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. That's true. Even in Spyro itself, like it's certainly a lot better than it was 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And I think it's just a matter of just being more focused on what I'm doing. Like, whereas like originally, like I was a bit overwhelmed by everything that was going on. It
course.
takes a long time to get used to race setting, I think, as well. Which I think is why a lot of newbies in the start struggle with the races. We've seen a great example of that on the ISGP channel actually, with those challenges like where you had to record your race on your own time and it wasn't live. The newbies did amazing at it, but it's a bigger struggle when you actually go live.
Yeah,
Because
absolutely.
that pressure gets really mounted on you, and I think in Crash Bash's case, it's certainly a great example of that because everybody does, in their mind, probably quite well at this game casually. I think everybody in this race consider themselves good at the game to some degree or another.
Why is your ice cream van playing in the background, Marcus?
Good
What
moment.
on earth was going on there? Like, Marcus and his sound effects, like, you know,
Yeah.
first the vacuum cleaner, then the ice cream van, like, you know.
I didn't mean to go into
Oh,
the
so that's
really-
what Dr. Crush's
This is
meme was
really
about.
highlighted.
Okay.
Yes.
That makes sense now.
Yes.
You can tell he's been watching the footage.
Yeah, because I actually took a couple of highlights from this race, sent them to him, and that was one of them. And
No, because it's
originally, like, I wanted the first joke that I made about it wasn't about ice cream trucks or anything like that, but it was
I'm gonna try and get it in Drain Bash because
I forget what it was right now, but
Henry the Hoover?
I think the Hoover noises. That's right. Yeah.
At least he sucks or something, or was that?
Oh yeah, at least he's happy when he sucks.
Yeah.
I wanted that to be the one to like dominate, but then when I heard that ice cream truck in the background, I was like, oh, that's probably going to be the one.
And who
Uh,
was
Yeah.
this Trevor?
Because the randomness just struck me off guard,
Yeah.
and
I
then
mean,
like I was
literally,
like
it's just Marcus.
slipped into sitcom mode, I guess.
Yeah. I always feel like this community, or its highlights at the very least, are at their best when it's moments between you and Marcus. Because it's
Here it
Marcus
is
just
again.
doing something very Marcusy, but then it's the way you react to them and you're like,
I bet
what the
you
hell,
get picked up
Marcus? That, you know, yeah, just creates the
God
content.
knows.
Yeah, it's difficult to have informative commentaries with Marcus when he's here.
Yeah.
In my case, it would have been interesting if he actually was able to join this post-com, but he was
Yeah.
otherwise
Hey,
engaged.
no.
We still love you, Marcus, by the way, if you're watching. Probably not, but anyway.
Yeah. Don't be offended.
Yeah. Yeah.
It seemed that actually.
Cue the 6 essays or whatever else, and, you know.
I can see my
Okay.
recording time. It's gone for
Okay,
like
so-
4
I turned 30 yesterday, and he gave me a really nice.
Happy
message.
birthday for yesterday, by the way.
Oh, thank you so much,
yeah,
Roger. Yeah.
How have I waited until now to bring this up, you know? I keep
Um,
doing this. I wait for the end of these post-coms to, like, you know, bring up very big news. But yeah, you were the big 3-0.
Yes. I'm no longer in the 20s anymore. Um, So it's a case of everyone in this community catching up. In fact, Marcus actually in his birthday message said that on behalf of everyone from Square to George, happy birthday. So there you go. That was what he wrote. That's why I'm bringing it up.
Oh, that's very sweet of him.
Yeah.
Before we head back, do you want to say any last words as one of the newest members of the 30 Club?
In my 30 years of being alive, I never thought that one of the most recent projects I would do in YouTube would be playing this game, which caused me to cry when I was really young because I lost a memory card of my 80% file, which I may
There we go.
expand more on in a further video.
At this point, I always death abuse.
Yeah.
Who doesn't when they know the trick to it? Yeah.
I know.
Fun fact, I was meant to
Right.
have a phone call at 4 p.m. I just told them something I was doing overlapped slightly.
There's more important matters,
Yeah.
like Bash Bash.
And by slightly, I mean nearly 2 hours.
Cortex, why'd you do that, man? Oh, wait, Cortex is actually who Gingus is playing as. That's funny.
So it's really the two evil scientists who let the side
Struggle.
down tonight.
They struggle in this game. Yeah, that's partly why I never wanted to play as them, because I remember trying it like when this like any percent was kind of arranged a while ago.
Oh yeah.
I did do a practice run as the scientist, and it was a struggle and a half.
In a strange sort of way, this has weirdly been a good sort of demonstration of how the other characters handle an any percent.
I'm gonna like that about this race when I see it back. Actually,
Okay, maybe I won't cut out chunks then. Well, actually, I'll cut out bits, but I'll keep all the important.
well, if
bits.
you, I still
Yeah.
think your post commentary idea is a good idea though.
Yeah. Well, the idea is sort of like there'll be the main commentary, but on quiet dips, there'll be bits where we speak over it. What I'll do
Yeah.
is I'll download the footage, then I'll edit the footage into its chunks, and then we can worry about that at some other point.
Come on, let my balls in.
Legend just have his balls in the goal. Oxide, jeez, man.
Yeah.
I know Oxide's been a pain 6 times now in this whole race. Come on, let him have a last one.
And one thing I noticed as well is
Come
that
on, Oxide, I'm tired.
even the computer struggles in the polar levels actually when it's a scientist,
Oh, sorry.
and yet he's the champion in the relics. I don't get that
Huh.
for these.
I feel
polar
like
levels.
on the official speedrunning scene, maybe they do need to start breaking up the categories to different characters. Like any percent, open bracket, cortex,
'cause
closed bracket.
it is so because they do handle so differently. Somebody did once.
It's almost like you're playing a different game, really, when you play
So-
as a different character.
Somebody did manage to get a really good time on the board as Coco, and it's kind of mad that they managed to do that.
Yeah. No, I'm just thinking, yeah, like maybe they should start categorizing the categories that way, because it'll be nice to see more breadth and diversity with
Yeah.
the game on the speedrunning scene.
For sure.
I feel majorly for the people who did the 201% on 2-team player at it wasn't ESA, I think it might have been GDQ, but actually it took them nearly 6 hours or something. It took them from something like 10 p.m. the previous day to
Oh,
6 in the morning, and actually the next group of people in their next were about to set up for their race, so they're like,
Yeah.
oh shoot, we better finish this soon then.
This
And
is
you
where
could
it gets
tell
easier, Joseph.
Yeah.
You could tell
at the start
by
they were
end,
all jovial and banterous, then at the end it was
well, basically like this racing.
yeah, it's almost like there's a theme.
Yeah, it's like the 5th attempt, it just gets stupidly easy. It's like he lets them in.
It's not that easy.
Well,
No,
you know what I mean. In
No, I think-
Let's not
comparison.
forget
I think
Marcus
the
Joseph still
difficulty
playing.
I think the difficulty resets though, weirdly enough. At least I've just discovered that today anyway.
Yeah,
After so many attempts.
Garion would have loved
I
this
know.
race.
Once it gets to the 3rd attempt, you just start to get easy, and then if you die again, it's back to hard. It's what? I was getting balls in the 3rd time, and then the 4th time I didn't get a single one in. Oh yeah, I got the gold relic for Polar Pass. Yep. Yeah, I thought I might do something while I'm recording, so it's not stagnant. And I think I could be wrong, but I think the audio in this is pretty good. So
It is. Very good.
Where's my kick?
Nice. kick.
yeah, you lose your kick if you don't get a ball perfectly. Actually,
Yeah, I know.
I'm
But
amazed
it just
Craig
feels like it
scored.
sometimes goes out too long.
probably. Yeah, probably
Yeah.
right.
Hang in
But
there.
it is funny, the demo in this game was considerably easier, and that's the one that you can the full version you can play on Sparrow Free actually. Very fascinating actually. I'd love to know more about the development history of this game and why certain decisions were made and how they came to the end product, to be honest. I think it was
Yeah.
rushed. I definitely think it was rushed, because it was just that era of games being rushed, majorly. Because of Universal and all that. And yet, we call it the year of rushed games, but games are rushed more than ever now because of the patches. Oh shit, you were very close that time.
Yeah.
We're here with you, Joseph.
But pretty sure when I was a kid, this boss made me cry.
This gives me Sue Heck making cross country in the middle vibes.
For some reason, like I always loved the Oxide though. Like I don't know why. Because he sounds like a fucking idiot. Like Marcus Terry Bedford.
Yeah.
I remember like I did my Oxide impression on the CTR time trial tournament videos. Like I think it was you doing Sewer Speedway, Marcus.
Yeah.
And I think I was doing it as well. And I was, Tony just called the video Lucas fails his Star Wars audition.
I'm gonna die.
Yeah, you should hopefully have it the next one. By the time we've done the wrap up and everything, it'll be going on for
Have
4.5
someone
hours,
act.
which is just insane.
Oh,
Nice.
there we go.
Yeah, let my balls in, please.
You know, you said at that time. Like you were really fed up of it not of being denied the chance to have balls.
Amazing, it takes all his health down after you die. It just lets him go through.
Yeah, it's just an
Yeah,
insult.
that punishes you, you
I
know?
know, right?
It's
It
an
is.
insult to injury. That's what that is. It's because he stops. And the balls
Yeah.
are sometimes still on screen. And this happens in the ballistics as well, generally.
I thought being the cocky ass he is, it just keep bouncing them off.
I'm not cocky. I am the greatest of all. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you are. Oxide.
Oh,
Yeah, the red ones catch you out easy, I know.
Hang in there, Gin and Juice. You got this.
Yeah, you got it. You got it. I believe in you.
I've done it a million times before,
I know.
but never has it been 2 a.m. in the morning.
I could remember never being able to do this as a
Oh,
kid.
it's 2 a.m. Jeez.
Hence why I never beat it
Yeah.
till I was an adult.
As you can probably tell in the tone of my voice, I'm losing my
Damn.
energy.
You got work tomorrow?
I thought, no,
Oh, thank
God.
goodness.
Oh,
it's a national holiday.
that's
If I had work tomorrow, I wouldn't have suggested
You-
the
you would
time.
have you probably would have DNF'd as well a while ago, yeah.
Like, I
that's
thought this
that's
was
what I was gonna say.
like,
Like, you know,
yeah.
credit to you, Gin and Juice. Like sticking with the crash bash.
I mean, I'm still going to
Maybe-
give credit to you for like sticking with it this long, though. But yeah,
Yeah. I started, so I'll finish.
I started, so I'll finish.
that's what she said. Oh, really rude.
How many more missiles do you want to throw at me, Oxide? How much more time do you want to cheat?
Come on.
Oh,
Of course.
Come
it's
on.
this bit, it's got to-
Jesus
I know.
Christ!
Wow, this is just... If you don't get
Holy
this...
shit!
Wow, what happened?
No!
What?
It just... The difficulty just changed. The last...
I'm getting angry
Bit.
again, but at least it's a, you know, a just cause. Like, this is
That's
You're not
bullshit.
playing it, yeah.
this is bullshit.
Imagine
You're
you
a comic,
failed so
you're
many
watching
times, he
this,
just
I'm
doesn't
What the
not
hell
Involved
happened
it.
then?
Who the fuck greenlit this, boss?
How was this signed off?
Like,
I have no idea.
like, the rest of the game, like as far as I'm concerned, can be what it is. But this boss, like, what the fuck?
Surely the any percenters don't just complete this first time
No,
round.
they don't. They don't. Not a single.
Good.
Not a single any percenter, as
I
far
don't
as I'm
think a
aware.
single
has been able
person
to do it.
alive has completed this the first time round.
I've never done it.
Yeah, this is just...
I've never
killer.
even came. I couldn't even get one goal in. Actually,
Right,
Well,
it's got to let one in this time. Oh, don't do this again.
Oh, please.
There we go.
yes!
Thank God, yes!
Finally,
Hey!
well done.
Wait.
Wait.
Lego Racers.
Woohoo!
Now we watch this.
Yeah.
If you ignore
What's
the Lego
the-
Racers, it's the woohoo.
Why are you playing a sound from TK, Marcus?
I don't know. I'm trying to find... These are not very good.
Oh,
These are not very good.
Oh,
But,
you-
but. Oh, what the hell is this? Okay.
Why do you do things that are just stupid?
I'll just say hats off to you for finishing.
Like the fucking ice cream van.
Most people, if not
Oh,
all, would
yeah.
have dropped out, and yeah, you stuck at it, and all the respect in the world to you.
What's this
Oh.
Zelda?
So
Well, that's a good way to wrap up.
yes, goodbye. Subscribe to Square to Charge.
Yep, or
see
else.
you for every other
Yes.
series we're doing. Ginjuice, do you have anything to add there? Or?
Yeah, it's been a great race, guys, and thank you for the invite. It's been great, been fun, and I'm happy that I was able to finish. And good
And
job
catch
for
us
everyone
all
else.
on our brand new series, either starting soon or has started already, depending on when this goes up. X
Watch
to play.
out for a
Yeah.
triangle to talk. Yeah,
Triangle to.
Great stuff.
I was just gonna say like watch the triangle to talk, but then you
Yeah.
just go and said it.
And then start to DNF if you're Fanta.
Circle to go back.
Circle
Yeah.
to go back. There we go.
That I definitely made a wise choice.
Can I get these 4 hours back? Well, 5 at
Oh,
this
yeah.
point.
All right.
Therefore.
Oh, it turned out the
See everybody.
marketing. It turned out the marketing coordinator was
Goodbye.
Marcus Savino.
Boom.
Bye.
Right, that's the video. Oh wait, need to. How do you?
Square to charge.